In today's tutorial, we're going to create a new corporate store and add a product to that corporate store and create a customizable template for that corporate store. The first thing we're going to do is click on Stores in order to create a corporate store. Once the new corporate store is created, we'll see here that there's a blank private corporate store copy. I'm going to open up the store. Once the store is open, we're going to rename the store. In this case, we'll call it Sample Store. We must give the store a unique access code. We'll call this Sample Store. Don't use any spaces or underscores or special characters in this area. You can put your phone number in for your office. You can add a logo for the store. And you'll see here that we've generated a new URL. Once we save the store, this URL will become active. We can assign the account manager for the store and enter any of your tax registration information, and we can move on to themes and settings. So here we have the default corporate store. There are two skins for the corporate store. You'll see the difference between the two. One is a menu bar down the left and the other one doesn't have a menu bar. So we're going to upload a background. You can use a JPEG or a PNG file here. The dimensions for the background can be adjusted throughout the CSS. But we'll upload this background here. And we're going to click Apply Theme. The theme is applied successfully. Every corporate store and every web store has access to its own CSS file. We'll go into this in more detail in another video, but this allows you to adjust the colors, look and feel of the web stores. You also have secondary pages which can be displayed on the web store for things like terms and conditions, privacy policy and testimonials. Once we've configured our theme, we can move on to advanced settings. And here we can define things like what the watermark is on proofs. Can users see each other's policies, see each other's addresses. And we've got some other settings here. You can allow users to register on their store, so new corporate users, and you can set payment gateways. You set your tax settings for the store, add any payment gateways. We're going to then move on to products and categories. Let's add a new category. We'll call this Sample 2. And we'll give it a thumbnail. And now that we've created that new category, let's go into Sample 1 and give that a thumbnail. Now we can add a new product. You can choose from 3 different products: a printed product, which is a web to print template, a finished good, which is an inventory item, or a marketing brief where you ask the customer some questions and get a response. Here we're going to use a web to print template. We are going to call this business card. We're going to enter a unique product code, category sort order, and we'll assign this to Sample 1 category. There's some additional product options. Let's define our artwork. So in this example, we're going to create a business card, 55 by 90. We're going to print it on an SRA3 sheet. And we're going to choose our press, which is a 4-color digital press. We're going to print on both sides. And we're going to select the stock. This is just a default stock for printing. You can add other stocks later. So this defines our work order. Under the price table attributes, we can select some paper stock options. This will be 300 gram satin, and we'll add a second option for 300 gram gloss. So we've chosen a 300 gram satin and a 350 gram silk. Here you can define the name on the store. This is what the customer will see. You can also add cost centers, like round cornering. You can make cost centers mandatory. And you can assign cost centers to each particular board type. Once we've defined our cost centers, we can put our pricing in. We can also define our internal descriptions used for work orders, and we can look this up from our phrase library. And so on. Once we've done this, we can define the template. I'm going to allow for bleed here. So this will be 100 by 65. 5mm bleed all round. You can choose to upload a PDF to create your template. In this instance, I'm going to start with a blank canvas. I'm going to choose which mode I want to launch the designer in. There are 4 modes to choose from. You can launch the designer in unrestricted mode. You can launch the designer in restricted mode. You can choose not to load the designer, show the smart form, and provide a proof. Or just don't load the designer and skip straight to the proof screen. You can support 4-color printing or spot color printing. We're going to load the default smart form. To find out more about smart forms, watch the video in regards to smart forms and their uses within stores. Let's add our template pages. Here's our front and here's our back. And showing we've configured the width correctly. We're going to give our business card a thumbnail. And we're going to click Save. Now we're going to open the designer. While the designer is loading, we're going to have a look at system variables. We're using system variables is what allows us to collapse up and down things like mobile, fax, phone numbers, and so on when left blank. In this instance, if we want to remove the word email when the system is blank and the user does not have an email address, we'll type in the prefix email here with a space and we'll say collapse if the prefix is empty. This can be used as a prefix or a postfix depending on the variable field and if it's populated. You can do this for all system variables and for custom CRM fields. Let's go back to our template. Here we have our business card. We'll see the trim size is 90 by 55. And in this instance, I've created the business card in landscape when I actually wanted portrait. What I will do now is upload the business card template. and this will modify my canvas size. Here we have our business card. The first thing I'm going to do is add the phone numbers. I'm going to create a text box. And I'm going to position the text box accordingly. When I double click in the text box, I will get my system variables. Here we'll drop in our 2 phone numbers. Our email address for the user. Just change this font. There are 2 ways to style fonts. You can use a whole of box font styling, or you can style inside a box. If I choose the box now and change the font, it'll give me a warning. Let's adjust the line height. The information for the configuration of these cards can be matched from Illustrator or Acrobat. So our URL, address line 1, a postcode, we can then lock the box. We can lock formatting for the end user, which locks the fonts. We can auto shrink text if it overflows from the box, and we can collapse variables if they are left empty. We can also force a case, and we can mark items as do not print. Once you've configured your business card, click Next to save. You can then download a high-res PDF to test for printing. As you can see here, I'm not using the correct fonts. But to configure this card properly, we would actually upload our fonts. To add a font, we add text and click Upload Font. Instructions for importing and converting fonts are here on the left. Once you've got the 3 font files required for My Print Cloud, click Open and enter the name exactly as it's saved in the font file. Now we've uploaded our font, we'll be able to select that font from the drop-down menu. Let's make sure our box is set to the right width, allowing for longer email addresses. We can now lock our box. On the second side, I'll demonstrate how image boxes can use. You can add multiple different image boxes. You can choose to upload an image directly into the editor. You can draw on the company logo that's uploaded for the store. You can use a profile image or headshot. And you can also use an image placeholder, allowing the customer to replace the image but not change the size or location of the box. Here we have an image placeholder. We can set the opacity of the image placeholder, and we can lock its position. We can also choose to lock formatting, meaning the customer won't be able to resize, crop, or pan the image. Once you have configured your template, you can click Next to save. You can download a high-resolution PDF to view and print off and ensure the accuracy of your template. Once we've done that, we can go back over to the store. Let's save our store. Once the store is saved, we can now use the URL to access the store, and we'll see our background has been applied. And let's log on as the default user. When logged in, we're presented with the two categories we created earlier, Sample 1 and Sample 2. When we click on Sample 1, we'll find our business card template. Here is our business card, and the initial pricing is displayed. Let's click on Design Now. And we're presented with our template, with our populated fields as per the dummy data within the system. The template will load dependent on the selections you made in the back end. As you can see, currently the editor is running in unrestricted mode. If I change the editor's mode by opening my product, and change it to restricted mode, and go back to our template, in restricted mode, only the smart form will load. The user can update their details by entering them here on the left. If, for example, I added extra phone number, it'll be updated on the right, without the user having the ability to change the fonts or the location of the item. Clicking Next will generate a proof. With the watermark that we assigned in the store. Confirming details and progressing to options will present us with the two stocks we added previously in the back end. Here we'll see the cost centers, and we can select a quantity. Once we select a quantity, we can add to cart. We can duplicate this product in the cart or remove it from the cart. We can also go back to the designer by clicking Modify. We can choose a delivery option. And again, delivery options are defined from the store settings. If no shipping methods are not selected, the customer will not be able to check out. Select the delivery option and save to update the store. Once we've added a shipping option, let's reload the store. And we'll now have the shipping option available within the store. Enter a purchase order number for your sample order and submit the order. Here we'll see an order confirmation, and depending on the configuration of the settings within the store, you can choose how this window now functions. Here we're going to give the option for the customer to pay via direct deposit or pay via credit card. Let's pay via direct deposit. We're then presented with our order receipt. And this concludes on how to create a corporate store For more advanced editing functionalities and to understand the editor better and all that it's capable of, please refer to the other videos, Advanced Editing of Templates. Thanks for your time. Look forward to speaking with you.